Hey Siri, how many miles in 35.41 kilometers?
That was a different number.
35 kilometers is 21.75 miles.
Shit. 22 miles. We're reviewing mile 22. Hey team, Vegas Tracker here. Welcome to the Film Slice Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Kane Diddly Widdly Kane Dogs.
Hello.
And Bro Diddly Doo Broadman Richards.
Oh, Nangly Pangly Slangless.
That's this guy. This week we are reviewing Mile 22.
Yes, we are.
Starring our man, Mark Wahlberg.
Who I can't take seriously in anything.
No.
Anymore.
Kane Dogs, hit us up with that IMDb summary. Let's get this.
Summary from
Boat on the road.
IMDb.
An elite American intelligence officer aided by top secret tactical command units.
Tactical man.
I'm Tactical Man.
Tactical man.
Quick tactical man, let me know.
Aided by top secret tactical command unit tries to snuggle.
Tries to snuggle.
Tactical Man. Here, my foot turns into a microwave.
Quick, snuggle with me.
Snuggle me. Quick, be my big spoon.
Do you want to try it again?
No, keep going.
Your hands are cold.
Tries to smuggle a mysterious police officer with sensitive information out of the country. Do you want it again?
No,
Nah,
okay. That's good.
That was
Excellent.
beyond perfection.
When did you see the movie, and what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit. Jordan.
I saw the movie Saturday night with one of my friends. I didn't mind the first 20 minutes or so. And then it got real bad real quick. And then I walked out feeling real cheated of my money.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even spend a lot. And I was like, where's
my money?
I'd like my money back. Yeah, nah, not a fan. I've told everyone not to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan.
There you go. Broadman, when did you see the movie? What'd you think?
I saw it this morning.
Hey.
And I thought it was like a solid 5.
Yeah.
Not out of 5, out of 10. I want to make that clear.
I was going to ask.
It was
Out of 13?
It was
I love rating things and then making that an unusual, like, it's a solid 13 out of 13.5.2.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're giving this that?
No, not this.
Okay.
Not this at all.
I'd say this is a bogey.
A bogey?
Like in golf. You know, where par's like, you get par and you're like, yeah, I got par. Bogey's like, yeah, it's
Come out your nose, you're like, oh, what do I do with this? Yeah.
yeah, and you flick it off and then you're hole in one.
Yeah.
Angus, when'd you see this one?
A lot of tissues out of the golf course. I also saw this movie this morning.
I'm not the only one that puts effort into this podcast anymore.
No.
I mean, I also forgot we were recording this podcast.
Yeah,
and
you almost
nearly
didn't rock up.
didn't come, but it's fine.
Yeah, so I saw this movie this morning, and I thought it was fine. I thought there's nothing too special about it, but I think I liked the fact that it wasn't big and massive, and like there was a few explosions and stuff like that, but it wasn't bigger than it had to be, which was
Fair enough.
which
Or
was
as
good.
good as it was meant to be.
How'd you go with the gore scenes?
Oh yeah, there were actually a lot.
This had some
of like
brutal
had fight scenes.
good action.
Yeah,
Or at least some. I thought hand-to-hand combat in this is really cool.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, some good martial arts.
Some good marshals as
Good
well.
marshals as well. Yeah, I
Some
really
good
like
marshals.
Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, lads. You know how every week I put up on Instagram and Twitter. Did
Yep.
this week.
I'd like to clarify. I know that every week you put up on Instagram and sometimes Twitter, and
Yep.
that I now put up on Facebook.
That's it. I put up that we're what movie we're watching, and I ask our slicey slicers out there what their thoughts of the film was.
Yes.
Yep. Normally you say
I'm
no
with you.
one and no one replies.
I'm with you so far. Well,
Okay.
recently we've had 2 people reply, so I'm with you so far.
That's pretty good. Well, on Instagram,
2.
bam, we got none.
None.
Right. Well, I don't hold high hopes for Twitter.
But on Twitter, we got 2.
Yes!
Yeah. He's got it again.
I'm a legend.
We've got Movie Man Jackson saying cuts on cuts on cuts. That is very true. It was
Yep. Quite
Very-
cutty.
A lot of
Very
cuts.
choppy.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit reminiscent of kind of Jason Bourne.
A lot of shaky
Yeah.
cam.
A lot of shaky cam.
Circumstances.
Yeah.
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 What am I looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that. You don't want to sit
Movement.
too
Yeah.
close to the cinema. Like, if you're too close to the screen, you want to sit close enough to the cinema that you're in it. You don't want to sit too close to the screen, because
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
become a blur.
This is true. Our second comment. This is from Jenny Nardecchia.
We
I
have butchered
definitely
your name.
said that
We're
right.
so sorry.
Jenny. Let's go with Jenny.
Let's go, Jenny. Come
Imagine
on
if her name is
down.
Jeannie and you've just butchered everything.
She says, I think the film has ADD. I can usually predict the ending of movies, and this one genuinely surprised me. There you go.
But not in a good way.
Were you surprised?
I was surprised, but not in a good way.
There you go. I too was surprised.
In a good way?
I thought it was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not surprised.
You saw it coming.
Yeah, pretty much not specifics.
Yeah.
But it was just like
I saw the plot twist coming. I just didn't see how they would end the film coming.
That's where I'm on there.
That ended in a bad way for me.
Jordan, would you recommend this, and who would you recommend it to?
No. And no.
Okay. All right.
No,
Yeah,
and
so
no
do
one.
you.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I recommend this to any middle-aged man looking for a bit of action, a bit of violence, some gore.
I recommended my dad.
Yeah, I recommend dads.
No, I recommended my dad not to see this, and he went
yeah.
and he saw it anyway. And what I got a text message after he'd seen it.
What did he say?
And it
You idiot!
says-
It was the best film ever.
It just says Mile22 ? Mile22? This is a teacher.
Mile22.
You were right, unhappy face. No, angry face. That red angry emoji.
Oh, right. That's nice.
Mile22? You were right. That's what I got after telling him that it would be crap.
And
enough.
that's why I read out the comments. Oh, did we get anything on Facebook?
So my dad said he was going to write something, but then he didn't. But he didn't like it.
Fair enough.
There's a good old whippersnipper in the back here. Good on him. What a prick. He knows we're recording, right? We told him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We sent him an email, didn't we?
I mean, we didn't tell him, but he should just know.
He should just know.
This is where the film's
Mondays,
recorded.
or occasionally Sundays and sometimes Saturdays,
Sometimes
are the
Saturdays,
times we record.
Yeah.
He should know that.
I think we did a Friday once. That was nice.
Yeah, and he should know that too later.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Roadman, would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to?
I would recommend this to someone, maybe catch it on a streaming service like Netflix, Stan, Hulu, Amazon Prime, iTunes,
YouTube Red.
YouTube Red. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would recommend it to someone watch it on some sort of streaming
ABC
service,
TV.
and or catch it on
Channel
DVD.
10 catch up.
7+.
They've set it up for a second one, and I reckon that you don't need to watch this unless that one gets really raving reviews. Go see Mission Impossible 5 or 6. 6 just came out. 5 came out a year or so ago.
But still say
Are
it.
we just able to go see John Wick? Can we just recommend better films?
Yeah,
Our segment, better films.
yeah. Go see something by Jackie Chan.
Great.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Well, anything else you want to say before we head on into spoilers? I think for an action film, there had decent action in it.
I didn't like any of the martial arts scenes.
You didn't
I liked very specifically one, maybe two of them.
really.
Yeah.
I thought they were quite fun.
Well, they were filmed very Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, I guess if you're a fan of that style of action, then yeah, definitely.
Then this is a good one for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's head on into spoilers.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus. Okay, Jordan, fire us off with your cinema dick.
I didn't have any. There were only 4 people, not including me and my friend in this cinema. And all 4 of them were fine. All 4 people were perfectly good people.
I only had another 2 people in my cinema.
Same, actually. I think it was. Yeah. it
That's
was already-
awkward. If there's a cinema dick and there's just you and like 2 other people, then it's awkward. Because it's like you're in a social circumstance where you're in your right to just go up and be like, hey man,
So.
did you not?
Yeah. So.
Cinema dick.
The
Roadman.
my cinema dick because I had one, as per usual.
I think
There was a
Dr. Brody's
guy...
just a bit easily agitated.
Yeah, there was a guy sitting next to me, and he checked his phone during the movie.
Big no.
Yeah, bit of a wank, and
Wait, he checked his phone and a bit of a wank?
no, if he did the latter, I did not see. And I thought we could publicly shame him.
Okay.
So I've got his basic description here. He was my age. He was about 5'9". He had red hair. He had a big red beard. He had a
Sure
white
this
shirt.
wasn't Angus?
Yeah, he was wearing a Guinness hat.
This is...
And,
you sure this isn't Angus?
It was Angus.
It was me.
I went to the movies today. I walked in. I looked up. There was 2 people sitting in the cinema. There was some random guy.
One of them waving.
And Angus was there. And I was like, oh, hey, man.
Oh, I feel like I missed out.
So I went in and sat next to Angus. He did check his phone, though.
I was getting a cold.
Inexcusable. Wait, did you have a wank?
No.
Inexcusable.
So that was a
mate.
nice little surprise. We had a bit of a laugh at the beginning of the film.
Hold on, you have a film podcast in which one of your segments is Cinema Dick, and you yourself checked the phone during the film.
I have a podcast where there is a segment called Cinema Dick, and more often than not, I do say that I am the dick in the cinema.
Yeah.
If you rewind it and listen,
I guess this is true.
It's like the
Probably
usual
am the
suspects
biggest
or Memento, where you
cynic.
watch it a second time, it has a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
That's why I actually made the rule that none of us see the movie together, just because you're a cinema dick.
And that'll tie into my favorite part of seeing this film is a moment where Angus
Watching
and I
Angus.
joins.
Well, yeah, I was
combined
sitting down. It was just
enjoyment.
me.
Wait,
It was just
did you
me
guys
and one
sit
other
next
guy.
to each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just me and one other guy. And the trailers had kind
Wait,
of
so
run
you
through.
went with someone?
No.
Oh.
No,
Some
it was
rando in the
just
cinema.
some random in the cinema. And I was like,
thought
oh
you
yeah,
were
yeah,
saying-
cool. It's just gonna be the 2 of us. And then like almost just as the lights start to dim, Brody comes around the corner and like,
Yeah.
oh hey, what's up? Yeah,
Started a
we had a
conversation
nice
at the
little.
beginning of the film. This guy hates you.
We had a nice little date.
This third guy has his own podcast, and you're the cinema dick.
Well, I too have a cinema dick.
The one other bloke.
He was bearded. No, not a cinema dick. Just an interesting cinema experience where I was the first one in the cinema. I was just chilling out on my phone. The screen wasn't on yet, and the guy walked in and he tried to make small talk.
Oh, that's
which-
awkward. No, you don't talk to people in the
Which
cinema.
is like
You don't talk to people.
No,
I mean,
in
it's
general.
fine.
I had a bloke try to have a conversation with me at a service station the other day, and there were cars waiting for me to move.
Ugh.
And he was like,
Scum.
well, he was just like, he was like, hey, man, I was only meant to put $20, but come have a look at this. And he was having a laugh, and I'm like, yeah, there are people waiting for me to like hop in my car and leave. What? Stop.
Imagine trying to converse in society.
On your bike.
Anyway, so
Are you trying to start a thing where listeners think I only have a push button?
No, I just really love the phrase "on your bike."
on your bike. So he walked in and he said, "Whoa, hard to find a seat."
That's fine.
It's fine, but what do you say back to that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like, yep.
No, you return it with full serious.
No, it's not.
You have to return that sort of thing with full serious. Where you
There.
go,
Yeah,
really?
No, clearly there's plenty
like-
seats.
I think it'll be fine.
Oh, no, he walks in, you go, will be for you, all of these are saved.
Yeah. Sorry.
There you go.
Saved. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Most positive thing about the film, Birdman. Let's start with you.
My most positive part, I've got a few, but I'll only say one of them. We might come around to me again.
Yep.
Is towards the end of the film, the
Hold on. What end of this film? This film didn't have an ending. Sorry, go on, Brody.
Fair enough.
Well, it did.
No, it didn't.
It ended.
Iko Uwais, I think is it the person's name?
The martial artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's about to get into the plane at the end.
This
He
is my
turns to
favourite
Mark
part too.
Wahlberg and he goes,
So say hi to your mother for me?
"Say how do you mother for me?"
Yeah. I laughed.
Me and
so
Angus
hard.
laughed out loud in the film, and it was just an
Say how do
amazing
you
moment.
mother for me?
Say hi to
I'm
your mother
so
for me.
glad that
And Mark
you.
Wahlberg is like,
What did you say
What
to
did
me?
you say to me?
I'm so glad that I was sitting next to Angus for that to happen because it just made it even better.
Yeah, that
it's so
was my
great.
favourite part itself.
It was so good.
So how do you mother for me?
So how do you mother for me?
I couldn't take anything in this film seriously because I've seen comedies with Mark Wahlberg in them so often now that every time he monologues,
Sound like he said mild Wahlberg.
Mild Wahlberg, every time he...
You're struggling today.
I really... It's what happens after work. Is
Struggling every day.
my ability to enunciate just goes out the window. But I've seen Mark Wahlberg in so many films, so now when he talks for a elongated period of time, it's just funny. There's a
Yeah.
part where he monologues to the sort of the counterpart bad guy, and he's giving him a monologue about playing a game, like how this is a game and da 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 da. And it just goes so long that it sounds funny to me because like, what, you think this is a game? This is a game, and I'll play the game. And he just keeps going. I'm like, this is exactly the same tone you use in all your comedy
In
films.
a comedy, yeah.
It was great. Like usually, if you're like if you do action films and you do comedy-based films, your comedy-based films are either based on your action films, or if you largely do comedy films, when you do action films, you generally take on a slightly different tone of voice or a different persona. In this, Mark Wahlberg is Mark Wahlberg in everything he does, and he mainly does comedy. So whenever he does an action like this, it still just feels like a comedy to me, just a bad one.
He does a sprinkle of drama. I'm gonna take that as a yes. I guess you are right.
Other than that hilarious moment,
What's great-
the only other bit that kind of shined out for me is a bit where, because Ronda Rousey's in this film.
Yeah,
Ronda
yeah.
Rousey's sitting at the table and she's like, fucking nerds.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
He's like,
What's his problem?
It's so
He just
random.
doesn't like computer people. Fucking
Fucking
nerds.
nerds. It's like such a random, unnecessary comment, and it was just so,
So brutal.
perfect. Just like,
brutal.
fucking nerds. So yeah, they're the two standouts for me in this action film.
yeah, yeah. No,
Neither of them are action related.
I like that. Yeah,
I've got another one, but
absolutely-
I think one of you guys might say it. So.
I absolutely cacked it when he said, "Say hi to your mother for me." I'm like,
So
He's doing my
I turned
impersonation.
and looked at Angus square in the face and started
You
laughing.
guys make eye contact a lot.
Yeah.
we do.
Heavy eye contact.
Pretty cute.
So your motherfucker.
I think besides that, my most positive thing was I like the ending in the fact that they all died.
And the lack thereof.
No, I think it was a fine.
Did they
ending.
all die?
Besides Mark Wahlberg.
Did she?
Ooh.
It's not stated. She hops on a plane and then the credits roll. In fact, it goes back to the interview that he's been having the whole movie. And they're like,
Well,
"Do you wanna-"
the plane does go down.
You don't see that, do you?
You see the
No.
plane and like
yeah, I guess nothing's confirmed. I just
The plane
assumed she
takes
died.
off, and then it cuts back to him, and he's been in the boardroom building up to this moment the whole time. And they're like, "Do you want to talk about what happens next?" And he goes,
No.
"No, we've been over it." And then the credits roll. I'm like, "Hey, no, you haven't."
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
So Broadman, is that what you were thinking? So Broadman, is that what you were thinking when you said they're setting it up for a sequel? That maybe they're going
Yeah,
to
definitely.
go save
Because
her
it's
or
so
something?
unresolved. They definitely want to make a Mission Impossible type thing.
Yeah.
Where they want to be making more. So they
Yeah.
want to have the next film with Mark Wahlberg and Eco fighting each other.
Yeah, okay.
That's what we should have got. So what I haven't got my positive yet.
I
but
swear this film
Neither
was
have
going
I.
to be like 2 hours long. And then when I saw it went for an hour and a half, I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it feels like that because I felt like an hour and a half when I walked out because it feels like there's 20 minutes missing.
Yeah, like the conclusion.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
I thought was going to happen, like when it ended, here's what I thought was going to happen. Is cuts to the boardroom, they're like, "Do you want to talk about what happens next?" And he's like, "No, we've been over it." And then it cuts back, and he somehow finds a way onto the plane, and he fights the guy.
Mission Impossible style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I was
Hanging off the
expecting
side.
one of two endings. Either that he'd make it on... one way or the other, I wanted a fight between Mark Wahlberg and Iko. I thought that had been building the whole time. Both of them have been seen to be good at combat. I was waiting for it the whole time. And I was waiting for either her to live or die at the end. And I was waiting for
I don't
that
think
to
Mark
start.
Wahlberg was good at
Wasn't
combat.
he was no Eco.
No, but it would have
Yeah.
been like one of
He
those...
just shot a lot of
it would have
people.
been like one of those Die Hard type things where he's sort of the underdog in the scenario, but
Yeah.
maybe he's a bit smarter when it comes to using his surroundings or something like that. But I expected a fight between them two or a confrontation, not just to say hi to your mother for me, then he hops on a plane and then the credits roll. It was building... It
Say hi
felt
to
to
your
me
mother
like
for
it
me.
was building up to that.
It was so good.
And then it just cuts to him being like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." And then the credits roll. I'm like, "Oh, hang on, you haven't solved this problem at all."
One of my positives is I like the fact that characters were expendable. Like they killed off characters.
I would have
I think that
preferred
was
that
fine.
if they had more character development before that happened. Because there are a lot of characters whose names you don't remember or care about. And characters that had zero... Like, the only character that had any background was Mark Wahlberg and the chick. And neither of them die in this movie that you see. The other two, it's like Ronda Rousey, we know nothing about her apart from the fact that she's Ronda Rousey in real life. And the guy that looks like Jon Snow. And he wore a beanie. That's all, like, they're the people that died.
Out of everyone in this film, Mark Wahlberg was probably the character I was the least interested in having survive until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh cool, Ronda Rousey in this film, she's gonna kick ass, and she like did a bit of stuff, and then she just like gets died.
She has close
dies.
to no fight. I was like, they've got a UFC. I'm like, she's gonna fuck
like,
someone up in this movie, and nah.
And it's like the other guys like don't know anything. Oh, he's dead.
Before we move on, my positive is my favorite scene in this whole film is the medical checkup scene where there's two assassins, and he fights his way. He fights his way out to survival. It's not something I haven't seen before, but it's something. It's far better than I expected it to be, based on what I saw in the trailer. Because I saw it in the trailer and I went, pretty generic scene. I watched it, and it's not the greatest fight scene I've ever seen by any stretch, but it is.
It's up there. It's
Fantastic.
Pretty good, yeah.
I didn't expect this movie to be as brutal as it was. I didn't expect that fight to sort of go on as long as it did, and for it to still be enjoyable.
Yeah,
and
I think it went for the perfect amount of time.
And that guy, which is an Eco something or other, he's only done a couple of movies. He's done The Raid, The Raid 2, and like another film. He's largely a martial artist and a choreographer for other films. So I trust he probably did the choreography for that scene.
Yeah.
And that whole scene, start to finish, and like he snaps the dude's arm and he stabs the like,
It kind of sets up the brutality of the film as well. That's like the first kind of taste we get besides the opening.
Quite early on, I thought this guy's gonna eventually turn on them again.
Yeah.
And so since that scene, I'm like, man, the scene between this guy and Mark Wahlberg, it's gonna be off the fucking chain. And then it's never happened. The credits rolled. I was like, what did I pay $10 for then? What was I paying for?
So moving on to negativos.
Yes.
My most negative part
The nasties.
is the fight
They weren't
scenes,
in this
John.
film.
The fight scenes are my most negative part.
Yeah, is that because of the thing that you got me to watch the other day on YouTube, which ruined everything?
Ruined
I've
every
seen
fight
since
scene
then?
you're ever going to see again. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Maybe you should reference it in this so people know what we're talking about.
The fight scenes are very Jason Bourne-esque, where it's just a lot of quick cuts and stuff,
Shaky
and shaky cam, and I feel like that's okay to do in some films, but at the same time, it makes fight scenes less impactful because they always cut on hits. So they don't show you hits, so every time someone gets hit, you don't see it. And they kind of hide a lot of the skill and action of the people. And it annoys me because the main martial artist in this film
great martial artist.
is Iko, and he did a film called The Raid, which is an
Have you seen
excellent...
The Raid?
Yes.
Should I watch that?
You should definitely watch it.
It
Is an excellent Indonesian action film. And it was great because all of the action feels fresh and real. But this one feels like every other film I've ever seen.
Yeah, right.
But it's annoying as well because you can't tell that he really knows how to fight. He really knows how to fight. He's an excellent martial artist. And I felt like them deciding to go with this style kind of ruins the fight scenes a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it ruins the artistry of beating someone to shit.
Yeah.
Just touching on that, I think my most negative is I walked out wondering how dumb the people in this movie were. For instance, if I'm told that I'm doing a covert mission, a secret op, that only me and people on the other side of my comms know about, and I'm going from A to B, the first time I get ambushed, I'd work out that clearly it's not as covert as I think. The second time I get ambushed, I'd know for certain.
Hang on a second, Barry.
And then the second question, so here's the thing, thinking a little bit further, because some people that watch this film have picked up on that. Like, if you're doing a covert mission, and they know where you're going to be. Like, it's not like people just happened, like, they didn't guess, and they were waiting for them, so it wasn't like they just managed to track them and intercept them. There were people at certain checkpoints already waiting there, right? The second question I'd ask, though, is if they know where we're going to be and where we're going, why haven't they just blown up the aeroplane? Right? So, my first question is how do they know where we're going? And B, if they know where we're going, why are they bothering to ambush? Wouldn't you just go straight to the plane and fucking bomb it, like, immediately? So, my next question would be like, why aren't they stopping us from getting on the plane?
Well, no, because the real reason, they're not actually looking for the guy. They're trying to pick off all of the team.
I know that. But my point is, if I was one of the people in that covert op, first time I get ambushed, I'm like, clearly they know where we're going. The second thing I'd think is, if they know where we're going, the odds are the plane won't be there by the time we get there. So, if the plane is still there when I get there, I'd ask why rather than just be like, whoa, thank God they didn't do this. Because I would assume that if the plane's still there and they knew we were heading to the plane, then it's there on purpose. I would just... like, not everyone would think about that, but the top greatest bloody guy ever should have figured that out very quickly.
That's actually the title on his...
Top greatest bloke.
Top greatest guy, bloke of...
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, they got ambushed and no one went...
You know
there's
what?
clearly
To
a
this
leak.
day, they still don't know.
Like, there's clearly a leak. No one thought about that, and they absolutely should have. They just kept communicating everything they were doing, and then they didn't go, how come they're not, like, all just waiting for us at the end?
Yeah. Fair enough. My most negative, I think, is how flimsy the connection between the triple agent and the lady is, and how
Talking about the Russian woman, or you?
no about the main actress,
Lauren Cohen.
Lauren Cohen,
The chick from The Walking Dead, Maggie from The Walking Dead.
yeah, I just didn't buy how that kind of relationship worked and how flimsy it was and everything, and like, oh, he's got no parents or no partners or no anything kind of
Wahlberg and Lauren Cohen.
thing.
There was not really any charisma, or there was
There
kind of
zero
nothing there.
chemistry.
Yeah, they created a character that has zero chemistry as well.
Yeah,
in
he's
making
the
Mark
most
Wahlberg character.
unlikable bloke,
Yeah.
and not in an enjoyable. Like, you can have people that you love to hate,
I did like,
but he's not efficient or likable.
I did like the elastic band. I thought that was a nice little
Yeah,
nice
that was
little
okay.
addition.
That was a good
Because
little
character trait.
every time, like, you don't even see it. Sometimes you just hear the snap of
Yeah.
it, and you're like,
He's trying to calm himself down.
He's getting pissed off, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I'm going to say something right now, and I hope you guys agree. People need to throw guns more in cinemas. And I don't mean at people. I mean when two characters finally meet up together and like, oh, I'm glad you're alive. They need to throw a gun to each other and they need to catch it. Because it's such a great action thing and it can be such a quick little thing. It's like, but people just don't do it in films anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
just such a great idea of just throwing a shotgun to someone and then grabbing it and like cocking it.
It reminds me
It's
of
like,
Hot Fuzz.
yeah.
It's such a great moment in Hot Fuzz, and
And because
happens
it's
in
just
Bad Boys as well.
It's just a great moment in films, and they've
Yeah.
stopped doing it. And it's like, no,
It's a huge
it was
camaraderie.
such a great moment.
It's a camaraderie film.
yeah, it's a thing that's like where it's like, yeah, these two people have a bond.
Bring back the gun to us.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what was
Hashtag
missing
bring back the gun to
heavily
us.
was the two main characters of this being the female and Mark Wahlberg's character. They both. What's her name?
Lauren
I just want to
Cohen.
call her Maggie from The Walking Dead.
You can do that.
Maggie
That's
from
better
The
than
Walking-
calling her the female.
I think Maggie.
What's the one with the
female?
without the penis?
I think the two main characters, Maggie from The Walking Dead and Mark Wahlberg, should have had a stronger rapport with each other.
Yeah.
We should have felt that they've been like, there's been team members come and go from their squad, but I should have felt like those two specifically have been doing this for years together. It would have been better, and all it would have taken is a few little nods and some in-jokes. Oh, he's back. Oh, Jesus.
She's going through the glass.
All right, I think we'll wrap it up there, lads. Cane Dogs, did you have an idea for
Look,
the end of this?
When I walked
podcast?
out of this film, I was very angry about lack of endings, so my thing was going to be...
Make an ending.
Yeah, like, tell me the ending of this film, how you would like to vision it.
Fair enough. Starting with, what's a better name for this film than Mile22?
Well, I watched a movie, there was a movie playing last night
Mile 21?
called 16 Blocks, starring Bruce Willis, and it's the exact
16 Blocks, the story of Tetris.
No, it's the exact same premise. It's about a cop that has to transport
16
like,
blocks of
witness.
Lego?
He has to transport 16 blocks of Lego. He has to transport like a witness to a crime from.
He has to transport a witness to a crime.
So he can witness it. Turns out the cop's a bit of a bad guy. Turns into a horror thriller.
No, but
Sounds
like
an
it was just
interesting
weird
movie.
because it's the same premise but a better film. So I'm gonna say 22 blocks. Not
20
really.
22
I don't have
blocks.
a better name. This movie's just called "Say Hi to Your Mother" for me.
Saudi motherfucker.
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg.
It's just Mark Wahlberg is in Mother. Quote: "Say hi to your mother." Angus,
Are we coming up with a better title?
I was
Is that-
thinking
okay.
an end.
Ending. Yeah, do it, Johnny.
Okay. Ending. So
So you can cut this film wherever you want. If you want to cut this film 4 minutes in and give us the credits, you can.
I'm gonna go cliffhanger. Just before just before they reach the
More of a cliffhanger than this film was.
just before they reach the airport, the plane's about to take off without them. Bang. End.
to be
Mile 22.
to be continued.
How many more miles will they have to travel?
Yeah. I'm making this even more of a cliffhanger. Just like 20 minutes in,
They leave the base.
20 minutes in, the guy shows up to the embassy. He holds something in the air. He says he has a gift. They put him on his knees. Roll credits. Who cares anymore?
What is it? We don't know.
We can end films. Yeah. Are you a witch? Roll credits.
Even better than that, Jordan. He says,
Dwayne Johnson is
so
also there.
how'd you get on the plane? You fucking guessed it, Jordan. He's like, how'd you get on the plane? He's like, we've already been there. And cuts back, and Dwayne Johnson pulls up in like some sick ass hot rod. He's like, and Michael Johnson back, and they speed it, and they hit a ramp at the end, and they jump into the back of the plane, and they go up, and they're like flying, they're flooring through the plane,
And
then
Jason Statham is on the back of it, attached by a string, fighting a shark.
and they hit Eco with the car where they get in the plane. He like slam him into a wall.
And then they throw a gun to another and they lock and load it together.
Yeah, but then he gets out, Dwayne gets back in the car, and he reverses it just out of the plane. And that's the
it's
last
like-
we see of Dwayne Johnson.
As a reverse, they both put their hands out either side, they grab parachutes, then they open the parachutes while it's holding onto them and the car like
Oh
slowly
yeah, they like
flips
just
down.
holding parachutes. They bring it like this like while the car's free falling.
Yeah.
They get out of the car, put on parachutes, they high five, and then just jump out and parachute down.
While
And
it
then
plays
Lauren
the thing-
handcuffs him in the plane.
While it plays
and,
the
he's,
thing.
and she's like,
no, they forget her. They're halfway through falling, they're like, oh wait. But then Jason Statham comes out of the cockpit, grabs her and jumps out the plane with a parachute. Oh, that would have been
yeah.
far better. There's the extra 30 minutes that they couldn't afford.
yeah. And then Jackie Chan's there. You've been listening to the Film Slash podcast. You can hit us up on iTunes and Twitter,
Are you
Facebook, and
Ian
YouTube.
McKellen or Patrick Stewart?
SoundCloud. No, I'm just friendly Crabman.
Hi, Crabman. How are you?
This is a really weird
good.
way to tell us you're
That's
crabs.
Well, yes, that's the thing. I'm not a man or a crab. I'm a man with crabs.
I've had him for so long, my friend calls me Crabman.
Yes, I'm Crabman. Thanks for listening.